Well, send me the link.
Today's show is brought to you by visitlauderdale.com.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the frim fram sauce with the awesome bay, with shafafa on the side.
Everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. We're on the road today, Defo.
Beautiful.
Hey, we are at fabulous Grampa's Cafe and Bagel Bakery Deli in Dania Beach, my hometown. And Grampa's has been a local institution for a long time, was kind of a classic diner and bakery, but about a year ago, it changed hands and ownership, and now it is run by a couple of guys from New York and Brooklyn. And look, they keep slamming out more food. Oh, we got the potato knish and a spinach and feta knish. And Defo wanted a knish.
That's it for me. I'll see you guys later, man. I got the knish all set up.
How are you today, Defo? We'll get
good.
This
you know what?
whole array of food.
I've been anxious to come out here and see what Grampa's is all about. You've been raving about it. I know you know the owner, Mark, and they do a fine job, as evidenced by the fact. First key, if you have to manufacture your own parking space and you get here before the lunch rush, then you know it's a good place. And when I walked in, you could see all these people chowing down, variety of stuff. And then I don't know if you're going to have time on the show to describe all of these dishes. I do have a production question for you. Do you prefer that the food is already on the table when you start the show, or that they pile a bunch of it in?
We've done it both ways this week.
Yeah,
earlier this week at Gilbert's, they kind of hit us with the layered approach where we start with a barren, empty table and slowly build to a crescendo. And this, Mark Freed, the great co-owner here at Grampa's, and he's going to be back in the fold as a presenting sponsor of the Lunchbox.
Nice.
We love having them back because it's that time of year, Defo, when it gets harder to find a parking spot.
These bagels, my God, they're
when
gigantic.
It gets harder to find a parking spot, it means it's that time of year. The snowbirds are coming back. The Jewish holidays are coming up. People are thinking deli, bagels, appetizing. I've got this beautiful smoked salmon Nova platter here. They call it the Dania Beach.
That looks spectacular.
I'm
not a lox guy, but
tomatoes.
That looks really good.
We got matzo ball soup. We've got a array of knishes, house-made knishes here.
Yeah.
A lot of people, no gabillas for you here. None of this prepackaged frozen crap.
They're fine, though. See, you should.
They do their
you have a
job.
habit of cutting things down. I mean, because it's all extremism with you.
Better than house-made. You come into a place that
honors
a tradition.
Yeah.
Mark Freed and Mark Goldberg, the other co-owner who's not here right now, but we're going to be talking to Mark Freed soon. But there are a couple of New Yorkers, Brooklyn boys. They have all kinds of delis and bagel shops up north.
You see how he lit up when I mentioned Jonas Schimmel?
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're going to talk
the original,
Well, Freed is great because he's a Brooklyn boy. He grew up, he cut his teeth at a Bialy shop that I would go to every Sunday with my dad to pick up Bialys. And across the street was the bagel shop in Canarsie. And again, each had its specialty. You only had to get the Bialys at Bell Bialy, and then the bagels were across the street. Anyway, we've got Lubie here. Lubie is all tied up.
Lubie's in a whole other world.
He's in another world.
He's a homeowner.
He's a heavy-duty Jew. I would have figured he would enjoy this.
That lock should have been gone by now. Yeah.
But
did Paul Sorvino shave that before he died? Because it's too French.
Those are very thinly sliced. And again, so Grampa's, for those of you who are not familiar, it's right in the heart of downtown Dania Beach, just off Federal Highway. I think it's 17 Southwest 1st Street. And it's right across the street from our friends at Jackson's ice cream parlor. So talk about doing a nice deli double. You could, get your
not far from Dania Highler either.
Dania Highler. We could do deli doubles there.
We might have to roll over there for a second.
Yes, that would be. You know what? That sounds like a capital idea.
Bring our own food in. That's for sure.
I'm all excited because I love these remotes. It gets me energized.
You're a different person, and now that you're a major South Florida radio personality,
look at you,
what was
Mr.
this
Morning
business
Show
this morning there with Julie Guy?
Well, let me tell you about my
on
morning.
the top radio show in town.
Are you leaving us
It's
in your
already
dust?
been a very whirlwind day. I started off with
Morning drive
a
radio.
5 a.m. alarm clock to get myself down to the studios of Julie Guy and Light 101.5 FM down at downtown
Coming
Miami.
to an elevator near you very
Yes.
soon. Yes.
It's that whole complex.
Yeah.
Odyssey radio stations are located in this.
Is it a dump? What does it look like?
No, it's
we
actually
were never
really
in there.
nice
No.
offices.
All right.
They moved in there a few years ago. This Citadel on the bottom level is a food hall that has some of the best stuff in Miami,
Nice.
including some really good burgers. Unfortunately, they weren't open at 6 a.m., so I couldn't grab a burger.
And do they
eat.
work on trade with the radio station?
I don't know what they do.
That's always good.
All I know is I was in there. Julie Guy, wonderful. She's been on the air down here 30 years.
Very
at
lovely,
various-
well-respected
She's
person.
great. She
Yes.
lives in Hollywood. I first met her because she's in the same running group that I used to partake in, and she's one of those freaky
That was
runners.
obviously a long time ago. When
Yeah.
was the last time you saw her, Mike?
About 5 years. But Julie is great. Great personality, and she is a huge fan of the Let's Eat South Florida Facebook group.
Nice.
And we are obviously simulcasting it today, as always, every day from 12 to 1. I hope some of the people who were tuned in on Light FM.
You can see it. It's actually
Thanks to
it
everybody
looks really good.
who
Everything's
called
showing
in
great.
this morning. And you know who popped their
Well, what
head
kind
in?
of people were calling
Wait,
in?
Well, first of all, I want to tell you about who popped in the studio while I was in there and started telling
You said he
stories
popped
about
a head in there? That's a dead giveaway
a
right
giant
there.
head.
Yeah.
Not
Did they need a crowbar for the door to get it
Yes.
in there? I mean, what was the story?
It's a very heavy door and a very large head that
Yeah.
came in, and that was one Joe Rose.
Joe Rose, always in good spirits, Joe Rose.
And Joe
for the most
Rose
part.
used to be a colleague, and
Yeah.
he's one of those always chipper people.
Yeah.
I love him, and good to see him and catch up. And he's excited
Zach
because
Krantz, one of my favorites. Did he say hello?
I waved to him through the windows, but
I like Zach.
had a nice time. And some callers called in. They were asking about tipping and proper tipping protocol. This is
What'd you
one of
tell
those-
him? Yeah.
I always tip 20. The guy was asking, "Oh, do you tip on the wine too? Do you have to tip 20% on the wine?" It's
Well, what do you mean?
the
It's
whole-
the total check. That's
the
it.
total
What do you
check,
have?
food and beverage, but not the tax. But you tap the tip.
Wait.
tip on the
Oh,
soda.
okay, I'm confused.
What
Okay, you're
is
talking
that?
about when they're at a bar getting a glass of wine, or when they get food,
When they're
they
at
want
a
to discount the
restaurant
wine.
and they order a bottle of $50 wine, do you have to pick? They pay another $10 tip for the $50
Oh,
bottle.
of
Yeah,
course,
whatever the
that's
check
what it
is.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're opening the wine. Hopefully, they're pouring the wine, and a good
People
place
are
they'll
crazy.
keep pouring the
What is-
wine if the glass goes down.
It's all
That's
part of the
service.
price of the dinner. Yeah.
I'm bad, but
The
I've
guy's probably
never-
losing money on the food, and he's making a few bucks on the wine, and the server deserves whatever benefit.
I've never thought to itemize the check.
No,
That's impressive.
People from a different generation. I think even my
Oh my
parents'
God.
generation, when they would go out for a fancy dinner,
Oh, they
they
would
would
tip
only
on a
tip.
liquor?
They would only tip 10%
15%,
on the,
yeah,
on
10,
the
15%.
wine. And I was like,
Who
no,
has time
that-
to do that? You need to know Pythagorean theorem to
Exactly.
pay
Doing
a
all that
check.
math.
you need
What is
to have
that?
passed 10th grade algebra or
Exactly.
something like that. That's way beyond my comprehension. Just triple the tax
Oh
or
my
something like
God.
that, because it's 7% here. And if you triple the tax, that gets you to
There-
21%.
Too much
and-
calculations. You know
yeah.
what? If you feel good about what you left,
Yeah, give 'em
then-
money.
Right. There was a thing I thought you were going to talk about it yesterday on the show. It was another one of those threads that somehow, wormed its way into Let's Eat South Florida. I guess it's relevant to restaurant dining, and that it was tipping valets.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a standard 5, and actually, I came
good for
away. I
you.
was kind of surprised. I came away thinking that maybe I'm bordering on being a cheapskate, even with a fin every time. But
I don't get
think
5.
I'm just a solid 5. I don't
If you
care what
want
the
to see your
circumstances
car
are.
again in
Yeah.
the same condition that you pulled up in,
Yeah.
a 5 is a
5
But
is
I'm
my
saying,
standard.
you give more
Yeah.
than 5? You give
No, I wouldn't give more than 5
But people were
unless I
talking
hit
about, hey,
a
5 at a
trifecta.
minimum. 5 at a minimum. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking 5's a pretty good tip for a valet
Some
guy.
people
No?
only
I
do it
don't know.
$2.
I give $1 $2. Like I didn't know I was being cheap. I thought that was
Well,
a solid.
Do you have
It's-
change?
It's
it's
valet.
just-
Yeah, exactly.
They get paid well.
The cost of doing business and the cost of going out to eat for the
Yeah.
consumer has gone up. And
Yeah.
it's one of those things that, you just have to plan in advance. And then it means if you have to go out less,
My
go out
mother, who
4
was,
times a month or,
Yeah.
2 times a week instead of 3 times, because the cost of
But the
everything
$2
is increasing.
isn't going to kill you
No,
either
no,
way.
no,
All right.
My mother, who was almost 98 when she passed away, she one of the things we found in her place after we cleaned out the place where she was living at Century Village we found a box with 200 ones in it, which she kept.
Your mom.
As
I didn't know
tipping
she
money.
had a
His mom was
side
the best.
hustle at Solid Gold.
As
His
tipping
mom was
money.
a
It wasn't
legend.
like she was Money Mayweather or anything like that. But she considered $1 to be an extremely generous tip.
Okay.
Under any circumstance.
So that's not what she made dancing on the side
No,
at,
she
at
wasn't working
the
the
She
corner.
could have, man. She was still hot at 98. I mean, I gotta say, she had moves
silver,
too. She had
silver
moves.
slippers. Maybe she was working that singles group at the.
PTs.
Should have been there,
the night.
mate. We don't want to get into that
All right.
party again.
Hey, so
that
I
was
gotta
a great
go.
place, by the way. That bar 25, I loved it.
We had a great time.
Yeah.
The party
And,
looked fun. I thought it looked good.
It was a great party, and
It
it was a
was.
great turnout, and everybody was in a good mood. So it's
Yeah.
all
Nice
good.
place, though. It looked
And I
like a
want to
nice
go
place.
back there and have like a proper full dinner because I've been
Yeah.
in there for lunch and I had a
Yeah.
little mix and match of stuff. I met the chef Walter. He's a great guy at
He
Bar
likes you, too.
25.
Yeah, he's a big
He
fan.
used to work at Cafe
The
Martorano.
chef, he likes you.
Yeah, no, and he came out. I greeted him, and I said, "I'm gonna have to come back on a more quiet night, and we'll come back and get a whole sample of the whole menu there again. A lot of kind of light, small plates and things, but with some Italian flourishes and flatbreads and some a really good Philly cheesesteak that he picked up from working at Martorano's, and that's one of their specialties too. But
Those were
that's-
great, by the way.
Yeah.
I had it at Martorano's once when there was a radio station party being held there, and they brought out a whole bunch of that stuff. And I have to say, it was pretty exceptional. The
No.
cheesesteak there. Now I don't know if it was because it was the
And
first thing I ate
Martorano's?
at Martorano's. Yeah,
We'll
well,
put
they
them
were
on
like
ours again.
appetizers.
Okay.
So
Kind of.
meanwhile, we're here at Grandpa's today,
Yeah.
and we've got the High Holy Days. The Jewish
at
New
this.
Year is coming up
This is the
Sunday
best
evening,
breakfast ever.
Wow.
and I want Defo to.
Where are you going first?
I
Mike
want
Mayo?
Defo to take the first bite today,
Yes.
and I have some news to
Oh,
share.
yeah?
Right, the second part of the morning
Okay, let me.
after the Julie Guy radio show, which was fantastic, and
Yeah.
then I made my
And we
way
made sure
up
to mention the lunchbox every day.
I
on South
mentioned
Florida
the
Live and
Lunchbox
Let's See South
that we're
Florida.
streaming 12 to 1. Hopefully, we'll get some new viewers. And I also mentioned how, Visit Lauderdale. Nicky is part of the
Nice,
Lunchbox.
Good name.
And we're going to be going forward.
Train them well.
No, it's good. Always, Julie knows, it's all about the
Promotion.
plugging and the promotion.
So what are you working on? Are you working on a book, Mike? What do you got coming out? How can people get the book?
So anyway, on to part 2 of the morning.
Yeah.
Can you play like taps with your?
I could.
Oh, yeah.
I have taps. So hold on.
Oh no, he's got a soundboard. He's got. Oh my God,
Oh, he has
he's
it.
gonna
Yeah,
lose
he's
his.
got it in there somewhere. Oh, here you go. What happened? No more walk of life?
Today was the day where I went to the doctor. It was the weigh-in. Today was the official
Oh,
weigh-in.
you
Oh,
lost?
geez, you didn't even try. You didn't even
Remember
try.
that? Remember the Wayback Machine 3 weeks ago when
226.
Sandwich
was the
Month
number.
ended,
Yeah.
and I was tipping the scales at 238.
Yeah.
And I
238,
said,
wow.
just by not eating
227.
sandwiches and then having a colonoscopy and doing a cleanse and a fast,
Should have been a cinch.
that I should have at least dropped 12 pounds, or it was 12 and a hook.
6, 7, easy.
Yeah, I was supposed to get down to
227.
226. That
And a
was
hook
what was the
or
number?
whatever.
Yeah. So I don't know what
Oh,
happened.
Well, the
No,
doctor has a
man.
scale that is fugazi to begin with because they want you to feel like you're
Well,
a
you
fat
do it
slob,
with the
yeah.
shoes on and all this stuff, but
And then he can give you the
I
look.
started the
Yeah.
month at 238. I was
All right.
trying to get to 226. That's you guys were being generous.
Yeah.
I guess there's another meal on the line at
The
Fish
Fish
Shack
Shack, yeah.
in
Oh,
Pompano
good.
Beach.
Oh,
happy
do you pay
now.
for us to go to Fish Shack? That'd be amazing.
Before the colonoscopy last week, I was down to 232 from 238. I was
Still
down
had
6.
6 to go, though.
Think I was doing well. I don't know what happened in this colonoscopy. I think they filled me up with
I
gas.
think they plunged your rear
I
end
ended
instead,
up going
yeah.
up away for the wedding, and obviously there was a lot of drinking and eating for the wedding weekend. There was also legal dispensaries up there. And that
Oh,
does,
geez,
when you
good.
get those munchies going.
Yeah.
You had no shot.
Oh, and Gilbert's didn't help.
Gilbert's on
No,
Monday.
that did not help.
No,
My
no.
buddy Eric is in, and we've been hobnobbing all over.
Yeah,
we went to the
he's a
pizza
bad
spot.
influence on you. I
We were
can
at the
see.
pizza
Yes.
spot
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Final number 236.
No, you only went down 2 pounds, man.
Down 2 after a
Are you kidding
colonoscopy.
me?
That was a pathetic
That's a
showing.
disgrace.
Oh my God, that deserves this
But
answer for
it-
playing sounds.
It made me realize a couple of things.
That deserves
Defo.
Defo's
And you've been
favorite
doing the
sound.
walk of life. You said you went like 11 miles yesterday. Over jumps.
And how horrendous is that? That I actually was like down at 232 and I gained 4 pounds in the last
you-
week.
2 pounds.
It shows you two things.
yeah, you have no self-discipline.
Number one,
B,
I have no
self-control.
discipline.
Yeah.
Number one, I have no
Are they one
discipline.
and the same?
And number two,
Yeah.
I just have to embrace. I gotta be me.
Yeah.
And you can belt out the Sammy
I'm
Davis.
amazed at your
No.
restraint so
And
far
I
here.
gotta be me
at
includes.
Grandpa's.
I'm surrounded by food,
No.
and every day is a food adventure.
Look
I'm
what they're doing to you,
restraining
too. They
myself.
know they're trying to kill you here.
Now,
mean,
I also
look,
got
look at this sandwich.
the
this
blood
corned
work
beef thing.
numbers. Now, here's the funny part of my doctor. Now, I'm not going to go through
We
all
don't
this.
need all the numbers.
The
If
cholesterol,
you have the pick
little
4
high.
in Belmont, we'll take that.
The A1C is drifting upward at 6.3, which is getting
Don't
perilously
get too
close.
macabre here before you dive into this
No,
stuff,
but-
Mike. Come on.
But here's the
you
funny
do this
part.
every show.
My doctor is a huge foodie.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
then he
and he
talks full
comes
of you.
in. The first thing he says is, "Dude, you got to lose weight." Hey, did you go down to Osaka
Hello?
yet? That's the best restaurant.
What is he, a
And this
mind
numbers,
reader
this
also?
cholesterol. You can stay on the same level of meds, but you gotta lose weight,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, there you
Have
go.
you been to L'Atelier de Joe Rubinstein? It's
Right.
unbelievable. This goes on for 20 minutes.
No.
Meanwhile,
He's
having a
lecturing
paella
me,
he loves to
and,
share,
and,
yeah.
and it's
Giving you
like the
Rex.
mixed messages that I get from you, Defo,
Yes,
because it's
yes.
like, on the one hand, you say, Mike, you really got to take it easy. Don't eat on the air. It's disgusting. And then when I do that for a couple of days, like, man, the show's boring.
No, I found this, the people dig it when you eat on the air. I believe
They
this
do.
now.
They really
Yeah.
do.
I didn't like it when you were just doing it from your house and then you were
Right.
slobbering on and on.
Well,
It was
let's
but,
raise a
but
toast.
I
You take
think,
a
I think we
potato
should
Let me
dive into
videos.
some of this. Yeah.
You take a potato
I'm a
knish.
potato man. Yeah.
I'll take. I've got the spinach and feta knish. We're here at Grandpa's
Are you in,
cafe,
are you in, Lubie?
bagel, bakery,
Wow,
deli,
This
and
looks
these
great.
are house-made
I mean, look at that
knishes.
filling in there, man.
Oh,
That's
they're
the key.
good. I'm
That's the
going
key
in.
to
They
it
blend
all.
in the onions, the sautéed onions.
Big key for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. the
Here we
way they
go.
do the onions.
Cheers,
All right. Here's to you,
Lashana
Mike Mayo,
Tova. Happy
Mr.
New Year,
234.
Sunday night.
Wow, we got another free meal coming courtesy of Mayo, man. He loses every bet. It's beautiful.
Oh my God.
Well,
Yeah,
what's
but-
funny is he loses the bets we want to lose. Like, I'm rooting him on. I'm not Defo. I'm disappointed. I'm frustrated.
But you guys owe me the money from the opening Thursday night game, so I think it's going to be a wash.
It's
where
fine. I'll give you the money and pay for that. I don't care about the
Wow.
bet.
This
The point
is
was,
fine.
from my end, to get you to
That
not
is
die
delicious.
on our hands.
Absolutely fantastic.
This,
I love that you've
this
moved
Potato
on.
spinach,
finish here is extraordinarily good. Extraordinarily
spinach
good.
and feta
Defo,
knish.
we need him here. Like,
is
you're not
my,
helping at all.
Sister-in-law Tracy's. This is her favorite. She picks up one of these spinach and feta once a week. Now I know why.
Now, when you
The-
finish it in one bite, that would
no,
be
I
Mayo
could.
that
I
we-
could
that we
shovel
really
this thing
dig.
down,
Yeah,
but I want to
yeah.
have some other stuff. We got a corned beef
You have-
sandwich.
you have to
we
do
got
this.
eggs
Eggs
Benedict.
Benedict's
We
what I
got
love.
what they call the Dania Beach
One
platter.
My
people,
wife's
people
favorite
have
meal.
commented on, they talked to me and they asked me about Mayo. And everybody's always curious about, hey, what's Lubie like? What's Mayo like? And they all say the same thing. This man has the biggest mouth
Yes.
for consuming food
Yes.
anybody
Ever.
has ever exhibited on any kind of food show.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
my,
you shovel it in there so
my
well.
late-
It's incredible.
My late father, rest in peace. He was
Yeah.
a dentist, so I got a lot of practice hearing open wide. So that's what I'm.
Oh yeah,
I'm able to-
Your father was a dentist.
yeah. So
Oh, that makes sense,
I'm
yeah.
able to open wide and put a lot of food in my mouth, and hopefully brush and
Wow,
floss.
this is so good. I have to go for a second bite.
This
here,
is
right on
really
the
good
show.
stuff.
I'll take
Again,
my
and I'm
turn
going to
after
give
you
an instant
people.
review here. Grandpa's, the house-made knish, and a lot of places
No, the
don't
knish is
make house-made knishes. They, buy commercial product frozen and they
Yeah.
just bake it up.
Wow.
They
Well, it's a
roll
lot of
this
work.
out a couple of times a week where they help make these fresh batches, and they're just stupendous. The exterior crust, light and flaky.
Lubie?
The interior is very, again, tender and flavorful. I've got the
Someone
finished
You're going to be
spinach.
able to do like commercials and everything.
Oh, yeah,
Hasn't not
we're
been
gonna be-
eating.
Because once you start eating, we kind of lose you for the show.
No, and
That's
this
what I
is
love
we're going to
about
have
these
Mark
shows.
on. We'll talk all
Yeah.
about all the great
All right.
things that they do here at Grandpa's and all the great platters and assorted holiday items that you could
Okay, well,
order.
then let me ask you, and I
Yep.
don't mean to cut them off because this looks like I'm going to trying to talk my family into breaking our fast with Grandpa's. This is like the greatest
Yo.
break fast ever.
Wow.
So we don't do mustard.
Don't do mustard.
On what? The
You
knish?
on a
the knish.
potato
would-
knish, you just
Sometimes.
standard because I'm not even going to eat it. I'm not
This is so
disrespecting it.
You don't
It's-
eat it. You don't.
Fine, because I like adding a little bit of mustard. You
Good.
know, just cause I do.
People do. But
Man, I
do.
hate to get nostalgic, but and everybody always compares to the good old days in New
Yeah.
York. When I grew up
This
in
is good,
Bright
man.
Beach, there
Yeah,
was
this is
Mrs.
good.
Stahl's knishes and also Yana Schimmel down in Lower East Side.
Yona.
These stack up. I mean, these are really
No,
good.
that's legit.
Fantastic.
No, it's legit.
The people would appreciate it at the Pomperdale Deli up there in
Yes.
Pompano Beach. They make a really good knish.
Yep.
And different than these.
Yep.
They also do like a homemade, I believe. But this is the best I've had.
No,
I would
great.
have to say. Yeah.
It's got the Defo seal of approval,
Yeah,
and
it's
this
legit.
is a Brooklyn
And-
Jew
you know
who
me,
knows
my
is Knish.
Gabillas. I mean, I buy the
All you
frozen
needed
one.
drink of choice growing up with the Knish. Was it a Yoo-hoo or a chocolate egg cream or a lime Ricky?
You know what I liked? I liked when the guy at the soda shop, a cherry Coke. That was a real novelty.
Oh,
it was
man, with
before
the grenadine.
Coca-Cola
Yeah, the
themselves
soda
realized that they could put their own cherry flavoring into it. But the guy was pumping the syrup. It was a Coke that was pre-made and coming out of some spritz bottle, and that was kind of my drink of choice. That was like a real luxury.
It's always good. I was a chocolate egg
Yeah.
egg cream guy all the way.
You,
Egg cream went with anything, whether it was a food, bagel and lox, a Knish, a chocolate egg cream made everything better. Hey, let's.
But it was great when they had the different soda shop, right? Like you could actually get.
Oh,
like
they had squirt of
soda.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was great.
the cherry, actually made their own Coke. They weren't depending on Coke and Pepsi.
Right.
They had their own
thing.
Those were the days back when it was get on the
These are
subway.
a throwback to those
Yes,
Knishes. Yeah,
but good stuff here, Grandpa's. Hey, let's put in a kind word for our friends just down the block at Tropical Acres Steakhouse Butcher Shop.
Is that your next stop?
It might be. I might have to take.
You got to take your buddy out there.
Well,
Uncle
we didn't
Cheapskate
go
or whatever
last
his name is.
night. El Cheapo. Instead, you know what we did? We hit the pizza spot, and then we hit the poker tournament down at the Big Easy Casino.
I'm still eating pizza pizza from what, a week ago?
Oh no,
Friday?
we got a couple of slices. We did a
Still have
sausage
couple
and
of slices
peppers.
left, yeah.
That was beautiful. But tonight might be the night where we'll hit Tropical Acres. It's his last night in town, and if you have visitors, guests, there's no better place to take them to show them the true spirit of old Florida hospitality than Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop, located at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania Beach, just west of the airport and I-95. You'll find old school hospitality from the masters of hospitality, the Studiali family. Love much. You go in there, you can get the twin lobster specials, 2 of them for $35 with salad and side dish. A couple more weeks, and that special is going bye-bye.
Yeah.
So go in there, get that, or the great filet mignon, or the great fresh roasted prime rib, or the rack of lamb, or seafood items like scallops. They have it all. They have half-price wine Monday, Tuesday. They have happy hour in the bar the first 2 hours, 4:30 to 6:30. They have a butcher shop open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They have a loyalty card for every 12 entrees you get the 13th for free. I'm out of breath. I feel like crazy Eddie. Go into Tropical
This
Acres.
stuff is calling your name. I know
this
it
is calling my
where are
name.
you going next would be the question. The matzo ball soup,
It's a little.
the eggs Benedict.
It's a little hard to eat. I'm going to go in for
You have to go for this corned beef sandwich.
after that
Come on.
report I got, cholesterol high. I'm going to go for a little
stop.
bagel
Don't listen to any doctor.
with just a little tomato and not too much cream cheese.
You can't
and a
let your
big
doctor influence your show.
smoked salmon. But anyway, go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you, and come to Grandpa's.
Great spot. Wow.
Also down the block. How lucky am I? I live in a town that has some really good eats.
Yes,
and,
yes, you are.
You barely leave the house now.
I don't have to. I could be like you and not go with
Really don't have to.
outside a 5
I
mile
got to
radius.
travel a little bit to catch
I could
a
get
place
all
like
the
this. but
food and ice cream and steaks
Yeah.
and gambling that I need within a 5 mile radius. I'm a really lucky guy.
That's why life is good. Yeah.
Hey, we'll be back after these words with co-owner of Grandpa's, Mark Freed, after these words. People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans. For 30 years, they've been doing a great job. The original location, West Side, 3303 Sheridan Street, just across from TY Park in Hollywood. Then there's the East Side location, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late in both locations. Go there. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. From our friends at Visit Lauderdale and Lauder Deals, Don't miss Dine Out Lauderdale during August and September in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Dozens of top restaurants are offering amazing 3 and 4 course meals starting at just $35. See all the